morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me again today for another live Q&A session here on my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you some tips and tricks and techniques and things that I use every day in my own voiceover business, and I answer your questions in these weekly Q&A sessions. And again, it's more like community now. I think we've been meeting up here every Tuesday for a while, and I enjoy it. I hope you guys do too. But if you're not new here, then you know that we have a poll every week. And this week, the poll is, which do you think will take your business farther? And your options are tools and training or mindset. And I see there's some votes coming in, but right now we got 19 votes, and it looks like 26% of you said tools and training, and 74% of you said mindset. And I have to say, why is YouTube still showing my intro? I don't know. I hope you guys can see me okay. I hope so. Can you guys see me okay? Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I hope you guys can see me. So we can see you. Okay, great. Thanks. Because on my side, YouTube's still showing my intro. I don't know what's happening. It's been a weird kind of morning. Gosh. Okay. So 77% of you said mindset and 22% of you said tools and training. I'm sorry. It's shifting, but it looks like the majority of you said mindset. And I have to agree with you because, of course, as always, my opinion, even if you have all the training and the tools in the world, they're not going to take you anywhere without the right mindset, right? Because the way that you think about yourself and your business and what you're doing every day to move forward is going to take you much further than anything else that you could possibly invest in or gather or incorporate or utilize business-wise, right? Your mindset is going to take you so much farther. And I know mindset for, I think, everybody, not just business owners or voice actors or audiobook narrators, everybody, we're all kind of struggling a little bit. And from time to time, we struggle with the old imposter monster, right? And I still have this guy knock on my door every once in a while. And I think it's, again, always, it's natural and normal. It's just a human thing to doubt yourself. But when you do have this guy, this imposter monster come knocking at your door, tell him to take a hike. Tell him about how far you've come. Him being yourself, your inner critic, right? Tell him how far you've actually come. Remind him where you started. And lay out for him how you got to where you currently are now. And then punch him in the face and then go back to work. Right? It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. That imposter guy always making things difficult. But anyway, I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Really wasn't a trick question. I just really wanted to think what you thought, because you could invest lots of money and time in tools and training, and they are helpful. I'm not saying they're not. They are helpful. They are an investment in you and your business and carrying you along and helping you to get to where you want to get to. But even with all of that, if your mindset isn't in the right place, then all of that other stuff really doesn't matter. You won't utilize it. You won't do anything with it. Right? Yeah. Okay. It's been a weird morning. I had the internet go down for some odd reason right before the stream. So I'm hoping everything runs smoothly. And then also again, this morning, I had Fiverr send me an email. We said, hey, we went ahead and moved one of your gigs over into the new feature of text to speech. So right before I got on this morning, I had to go back in and change it back over to the voiceover category and redo everything in my gig. This is the second time they've done it. So I'm not quite sure how. I'm going to have to maybe contact support or my success coach through Fiverr and see if there's a way that they can take me off the list of people, or if there's a particular keyword that's initiating that. I don't know, but I don't want it there, people. Okay, let's head over to the comments. And I do have, just FYI, I'm going to jump into a couple of the comments. And then I have a little bit of a presentation for you. Right after the internet, actually midway, when the internet went out midway through, I was making a little presentation on Canva for you, just to kind of, because I realized that I talk about a lot of things, but I don't put them up on the screen. So that way you can actually see what I'm talking about. But let's just take a couple of the comments really quick. Let's see who's first in, because we have a lot of comments. So first in is Rustic Hillbilly. Good morning from Stormin, Oregon. Seems like it's always storming in Oregon. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Eric Mernon. Good morning. I voted for tools and training. I'm confident in my mindset and abilities, but I could really use some of the tools and training to better market myself. Absolutely. And tools and training are a necessity. They are a necessity because the tools and the training will help you get far. And if you're like Eric and you're just always confident in yourself, then that's good too. But I'd say for the most part, most of us, not Eric, but most of us have that imposter monster come knocking every once in a while. Had Powser says, good morning. Good morning. How are you? First time caller, long time listener. I think this was Edson. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Anthony and Vivian Lanius. Good morning from Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Have a great and productive day, Angela, and all you Angelites. Yes, yes. Positivity. See? Mindset. Love it. Gustav Tarankov. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I butchered your name. That always makes me cringe if I do that. But both options go hand in hand. One can't succeed without the other. I've been having the mindset, but not having the training and the right tools, including software, has been kind of overwhelming. Yes, you are right in that respect as well. Because you could be like Eric and have a great mindset, but not have the tools and training. So you're right. They do go hand in hand. But I think on the other side, once you get to that point where you finally have all the tools and training that you feel that you need, that mindset will keep you going longer than those tools and training will. Personal opinion, but you're right. Having both is definitely going to be advantageous. And before you get to have all of the tools and training that you feel that you need, your mindset is going to carry you through to the end of that too, right? Until that end point. So you really need both, but I think mindset will take you further. Hat says, don't forget to like. Yes, thank you for that. Two-Way Productions, LLC. Good morning, everyone. Sherry from KC area. I said mindset because I'm trying to do this part-time with my day job, and it can be done, but it's because I have to have the right mindset to focus. And I have to tell you, Sherry, that a lot of us start that way, with a full-time job and doing this part-time. I did. And I think for me, in retrospect, mindset is what got me to where I am, even without all of the tools and training, because I knew that would come. I had goals in my mind. I had an end goal, and I was going to get there, whether it took me a week, a month, 5 years, however long it took, it was going to take that long, right? However long that was going to take me to get to that place that's called there for you, right? My mindset is what got me through everything that I had, all the bumps in the road, everything. I had to keep thinking positively. This is just part of the process. This learning is part of the process. This training is part of the process. These new tools, the software is confusing as heck, but you know what? I'm going to learn it and I'm going to get there. I'm going to get through this. And that, my friends, is mindset, right? I can tell you that that's what pulled me through and continues to pull me through when days just don't seem to go right, right? We all have those. Siobhan, hello. Happy to join today. Happy to have you, Siobhan. Glad you're here. Phil. Hey, Angela. Hey, y'all. Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil. How you doing, Phil? Okay. And then we have a bunch of yes. We see you. Everything's good. Okay, good. All right. I don't know why everything's so goofy today. Siobhan then says, I really think it's both, but the tools do no good if your mindset is not right. 100%. I agree with you. Mark Flores says, good morning. Last week, just got some pro headshots. Nice. Talked to an accountant and will be working on some more improvements to the business, including a better website and demos. Perfect. Look at you. You got your plan. Execute. Perfect. Phil says, I think it's tools and mindset. Yeah, I think it's both. And then I have some, I can see you. Okay, good. I am Peximus. I have to say it that way. I am Peximus. I don't know why I have to say it that way. Why is that? Hey, Angela, I'm in a reoccurring meeting, but have you on and watching comments currently. Hope you're doing well today. Yes, I am doing well today. Kind of a weird start, but the day is just going to get better, right? That's what I'm going to tell myself. That's going to be my mantra for today. Today is going to be good. It's going to be the best day ever so far this year, right? I'm manifesting it. Mike says, hi, Angela and everyone. Happy to be here. We're happy to have you. Pamela says, good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning. Jeffrey, good morning from somewhere roaming North America. That's nice. Excuse me. Facebook user, who is this? This is John YG Walker III. Thank you, Angela, for all your insights and your wisdom. Many of your words have helped. In fact, excuse me, Frog, give me that confidence to give me some good narration work. Good. Confidence is a big one, too. And that comes from, I think, a combination of tools, training, and mindset, right? That confidence in knowing that you can edit that file perfectly, or you can format your file appropriately for audiobook standards, or you can, emulate that tone, or you can deliver that script. You can, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that confidence in knowing that you can, which comes from tools, training, and mindset, right? Good. I'm glad to help. Oh, I saw a super chat. Hold on. Sean Lester 007. Thanks, buddy. Do you think the right tools and training help gain the confident mindset to persevere? Absolutely. If so, which tools and training do you recommend? Hello, Frog. Good morning, Frog. I am actually going to suggest some things here in just a minute. I wanted to get some of these comments in there because this little slideshow that I have prepared for you guys will just take a few minutes. So with that said, let's just go ahead and do that. Let me just see where I left off on Dylan, I believe. Okay. So this is the first time I'm doing this on StreamYard. So we're going to try this out together. So hopefully it goes okay. So first I'm going to switch over to this presentation. And these are some of the helpful tools that I recommend for your voiceover audiobook business. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get this to go. One of the things I definitely recommend are important for your business is your website, right? Your website, again, is just one of those. It's a home base. It's a digital home base for your business. So all of the, social media posts and everything that you're generating traffic from, you want a end point. You want a destination for all of those people to go. Because I mean, you could send people to Fiverr, to Upwork, but why would you want to, share in the profits of that with another platform? You want people to directly find you, right? Google searches, wherever they're looking for voice actors, you want to have a digital home base, and that is your website. Your profile headshot, and this was mentioned just a little while ago, because that headshot, and it doesn't have to be professional. My headshot that I've been using for years was taken with my phone. You just need a headshot, right? And then use that same headshot wherever you are. Put it on your website, put it on all of your profiles, each and every profile that you have, like on these pay to play platforms or freelance marketplaces. Use that same headshot because you become recognizable. It's part of your brand, right? People will recognize you from place to place to place if it's the same headshot, right? Your CRM and your spreadsheet, because you're going to want to keep track of people, right? Once you start direct emailing to people, you want to have a way to track that. And you have things like, oh my God, MailChimp. There's a ton of these. I just signed up for a new one too. But there's a ton of these CRM, even mail marketing kind of web services that you can use to email people and track whether or not they opened it, your open rate, if it went to spam, you can check all of that stuff. And if you don't have a CRM, let me just go down here, a CRM to do that for you, you can make a spreadsheet. You can use Google Docs, you can use Excel, build your own spreadsheet to keep track of not only who you contacted, maybe their direct email address, if they opened your email, if they ordered from you, how much they owe you, and when you sent the invoice out, that way you can kind of keep track of everybody. And then also see your numbers, right? You can also then tell which platforms are working. You could even make your spreadsheet include the number of times you auditioned, right? So if you're on like voices.com and I auditioned 5 times and maybe I got only one short list, you can kind of keep track. Excuse me, frog. You can keep track of which platforms are working for you, right? So there's a lot you can do with a spreadsheet. The daily agenda book is something that I swear by because that way I can write down on a daily basis what I have to do, my priorities for the day. If I have to meet with somebody, if I have a group meeting, if I have if I'm in the middle of an audiobook or 2 or 3, I can say, okay, I need to get this much done of this book between this time and this time, pick up the kid, get the groceries, do whatever I got to do. That way I can keep track of everything because as we know, when you get older, you tend to forget things get put on the back burner and sometimes they stay there a little too long. But with the daily agenda book, I can keep track of what needs to be done and make sure that it gets done on time. Your short and long bios are going to be helpful if you have them written out beforehand because you are going to be filling out tons of, platforms, right? You're going to be platform bios, right? So like Fiverr, Upwork, voices.com, you're going to need a bio for all of those. So if you have one written out, you can just copy and paste it. But if you have a longer version and a shorter version, that shorter version is going to be helpful for when maybe podcast interviewers reach out to you and say, hey, your story is very interesting. We love your voice. I wonder if we can, like a guest bio kind of a thing, right? And then sometimes even the platforms don't allow a longer bio. Maybe they just want a short little tidbit on you, right? So it's ideal to have these things written out beforehand. That way you can kind of copy and paste them in just to kind of save you some time. And then on the next page, I've got some plugins that I recommend. And we talk about these a lot. These are the websites in which you can find these plugins. Isotope.com has got the 3 different packages of plugins, right? You've got Elements, Standard, and Advanced. The golden plugin that they have is the mouth declick, not the declick, but the mouth declick. That singular plugin saves me at least 80% of my editing time by removing all of the, the mouth noises that we just make when we speak, the crackles and pops and stuff. And that plugin is available in Isotope's standard and advanced packages, not so much the Elements. I'm hoping one day they will. but that is a great plugin in and of itself. Waves is another place that I've purchased a lot of plugins from, mainly noise reducers. I've tried a few others, but the noise reducers I really enjoy, the NS1 and the Clarity VX. From what I understand, Waves is still on a subscription. Their new model for business is a subscription-based thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard somewhere that they had gone back to purchase outright, but it sounds like it still may be subscription. I purchased both of these plugins way before they started this, so I have them, but I do recommend them if you're, trying to figure out which way to go on either NS1 or Clarity VX. They're great at reducing noise. Sweetwater.com is another website where you can not only get plugins, you can get these plugins from Sweetwater.com, the isotope ones anyway. I'm not sure, I don't think they have the waves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they have isotope plugins there. But Sweetwater is also a great website where you can get a lot of your audio gear. Half of what is in my studio is from Sweetwater. The other half is from Amazon, like my desk, my interface, my monitors came from Sweetwater. There's a lot of stuff in here that came from Sweetwater, and their customer service is exceptional. Can't recommend Sweetwater enough. And then we have some other resources, online resources for finding information and for training. We have gravyforthebrain.com. That is a great website. It's based in the UK, I believe. I'm melding all of these together in my head now. But they have a lot of great webinars and training that you can get there. Narrator's Roadmap is a great place to go if you're wanting to narrate audiobooks. There's a lot of information there, a lot of directions they can point you for different things if you have questions, but there's a lot of great information there on Narrator's Roadmap. Edge Studio is another website where there are a lot of training. There's training available, webinars, things like that. And then, of course, YouTube creators. There's a ton of great information you can find on YouTube. There's not only myself, of course, but there are, there's Anthony Pica, there's Gabrielle Nistico, there's, Booth Junkie. There's all kinds of great people to follow on YouTube that just give you great free information. Oh, Bill DeWeese. Don't let me forget Bill DeWeese. But there's a lot of great people there that share information for free on YouTube. And then the last one I had some other tools that you may or may not know about. VoiceZam.com. This was one that I had brought up to somebody recently. This is a audio player that you can embed on your website to showcase your demos. Now, if you're building out your website and you need to play your audio demos, the website host they'll want you to upgrade to like a premium package or something in order to have the audio and video players on your website. If you just use VoiceZam, it's considerably less money, and you can just, embed it right onto your website. And it's made for exactly that, for, as an audio player, an embeddable audio player. Audiobook Scout is a website you can use to find books through ACX. Like, you can set filters, right? So if you only want to look at royalty share under 3 hours, in this kind of genre of book, you can set a filter for that. And then you will get an email notification whenever those books are available. So you are notified quickly on when that book's available to audition for. It'll also tell you if there are red flags, which is nice, because if something isn't jiving with the book, the word count, the author, something's not jiving, they will put a red flag on it for you. They'll send you the listing, but they'll red flag it to say, you might want to do a little further deep dive on this before you audition. So that's helpful, right? VoiceOverView is a website. It is a voiceover specific CRM, as we discussed a couple slides ago, a CRM. VoiceOverView, I believe, is still $10 a month, which don't quote me on that, of course. That was the last time I used it. But it was very, very helpful. But I just didn't, in the beginning, I didn't have the patience to sit and fill it all out, but I see the value in it now, and I wish I had stuck with it. But VoiceOverView is a great CRM for voiceover artists. You can track all of that stuff in VoiceOverView. Cloud Convert, I have used quite a few times. There are times when say you're an audiobook narrator and an author will send you an EPUB file for their book, right? Most computers can't open that, as far as I know. Mine couldn't. It doesn't open EPUB. So I had to convert it into something that I could open, like PDF or Word document. So you go to Cloud Convert and you can change, the document format. You can also change audio format, video format. It's very, very helpful in, you know, let's also, like, as an example, slow down, Angela. An example is when an author had sent me something in Pages or something that my PC couldn't open. I can always convert that to a format that I could open. So Cloud Convert has been very, very helpful, and it's free, right? I think you have to pay if it's over a certain size. Correct me but I've never had to pay for a conversion, which has been always been helpful. So I feel like I just totally blew through that. So I'm hoping that made sense to you guys. If you guys have any questions on any of that, now is the time. All right, let's go back to the comments. I hope that was helpful, guys. Let's see, where was I? Here I go. Here, Dylan. LOL. I would have voted for both if I could. I struggle with the mindset, anxiety, posture syndrome to get the coaching I need. Yeah, and that doesn't go away. But with coaching, with mentorship, with training and the tools and training, with that comes a little bit more confidence, because you'll have someone in your corner cheering you on, telling you, maybe correcting you if you do something wrong. So that'll build your confidence in moving forward, which definitely helps with mindset, right? That'll help definitely strengthen your mindset, the positivity. Mark Flores says having the right mindset will help you persevere and get the right tools and training. Yes, absolutely. Mary. Hey, girl. Good morning. Thank you for this morning's topic. 100% needed that reminder. We all do from time to time, but I'm right there with you, Mary. We all have those days. Siobhan says, I'm almost finished writing my own novel, and I'm curious, is it better to let someone else narrate it or do it myself? I'm always a fan of authors narrating their own books. I'm always a fan of that. But just know that because it's not something that's easily done, audiobooks are a production. They take time. They're a marathon. But if you have that time to invest, then I think it just adds a little bit of something, because no one's going to understand what you're writing better than you. So that's going to come through in your narration, but it does take time. And also on the plus side, you'll get to keep all the royalties on both ends, right? In your print or ebook copies, every sale that you make in any format, you get to keep, which is nice. But some authors just don't have the time, the patience, the wherewithal, or the schedule bandwidth to create an audiobook, because it does take time, or to invest in the equipment needed and the training needed to utilize the software. There's a lot to it, a lot more to it than you would think. But I'm always a fan of authors narrating their own books. So I'd say do whatever you feel is right, whatever you have the time and bandwidth to do. Keegan says, so I've listened to podcasts and listened to training. I have tools, but getting to actually doing it seems so daunting. So tools are great, but how do you make yourself do it? You just have to do it. I think for me, I blocked out everything else in my head, all of the questions, all of the doubt, all of the fear. And I gave myself a focus, and that focus was just record this, one step at a time. Just record this, then go through and edit it, as cringeworthy as it was to me at the time. Edit it, and then submit it. That's it. That's all. Just focus on one step at a time, right? First, read the copy, understand the copy, interpret the copy, record it a few times if you have to, or just let the recording play as you give it a few takes. Choose the best one, edit it, submit it. That's how I made myself do it. And then I was glad that I did it. And then after that was done, all of the anxiety and fear, well, of course, there were some new ones, right? Well, what if they like it? What if they don't like it? What if they contact me? What if they don't contact me? But all of these things are completely normal. We've all been there. So we're all 100% behind you. We know this is scary, but you can do it. So just think of one step at a time and execute it. You got this. Brandon says, hey, all, does anyone keep anything in your recording spaces to remind you that you are good enough? Oh, I have, oops, throwing pictures around in here. I have my crown. It's dorky and cheesy, but you know what? It reminds me that I am royalty. I'm really not, but it gives me a little bit of a confidence boost, right? See, now I'm just tearing stuff apart in here. No matter how dorky it is, just have something in your studio that reminds you that it makes you smile, that makes you, reminds you of something in the past that made you happy, or write yourself a note even, right? Have a picture of your children or your family in your room with you, your parents, whomever makes you happy. Whatever you're doing this for, whatever your end goal is, whatever your why is, have something that represents that why in your studio with you that pushes you to persevere and to move forward, right? Whatever your goal is. It's a great point, Brandon. What is yours? Barbara says, know the goal, make the plan to accomplish these goals, and use tools and training to obtain those goals. Mindset is everything. I agree. Gustav says, thank you for your videos. They have helped me. You're welcome. And I had a great idea for a new video, and I just need to find the time to record it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I think it'll spoil it. So I'm hoping to get that done. Joya says to Siobhan, I'm an author that narrates my own books, but it's all about time. Do you have the time to commit to it? Expect 4 hours per 10,000 words. It is a marathon, but it can pay off for you if you're, down for the long haul. Phil says hi to Joya. Joya says hi to Phil. Keep recording. Are you ready to publish yet? Siobhan says, what is a CRM? Oh, did I not? Okay, I must have skipped over that. Customer relationship management, right? It's basically how you keep track of your customers, people that you email, people that you do jobs for. How do you keep track of all of that stuff? That is a CRM. And there are softwares out there that will do this for you. Or you can build a spreadsheet from scratch, like Google spreadsheets or an Excel spreadsheet, right? Hat Pauser says, there's only one decent pic of me in existence, circa 2015. I have no choice. Hey, use it. No one's going to know it's not current unless it's like, it looks like a grainy Polaroid or something, then maybe not, but no one's going to know. How would they know? Sean says, customer relationship manager. Yes. Phil says to Joya, got 2 chapters left to record, then I'll edit. Good job, Phil. And then Joya to Phil, great. Keep motivated and get it published. Yes. Writer Dude says, good ribbit morning. I know, my frog is just on fire today. Phil says to Joya, absolutely. Writer Dude, got my own cough this morning from a bunch of dusty stuff I got out of storage. That'll do it. That does it to me every time. It makes every time I'm in my storage unit, like my arms and my hands itch, my face itches, everything just itches. But we had, I think the springtime bloom is happening. Plus it's windy as all get out in the last few days here in Arizona, where I am in Arizona. So allergies are just off the hook right now. Love the presentation. Looks great. Mark says, you know what? That reminded me that another great tool is Canva. That's how I made that presentation, was Canva. Canva does so much, and you can utilize it for a lot of stuff. Your Fiverr gig thumbnails, your social media posts. Canva is amazing. I love Canva. Brandon Keener, voiceover talent says, mouth declick is worth every penny. The standard section costs. Waves has gone back to individual plugins as well. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I heard that somewhere, but I wasn't sure. I didn't verify, right? Trust but verify. So I'm glad that they did. They probably just went, oh boy, everybody hates us now. Maybe we should probably go back to our original model. So that's good. I'm glad that they did. So Waves, NS1, and or Clarity VX. Those are the Those are the noise reducers that don't, I mean, every noise reducer, every effect is going to change or distort your voice in some way, shape, or form, especially noise reducers. Too much of a noise reducer will definitely destroy the sound of your voice and make it sound tinny and hollow, right? But if you have ambient noise and you're an audiobook narrator, you need to control your noise floor. Noise reducers will help you do that. NS1 and Clarity VX are the two I recommend. Siobhan says, do the plugins auto-load to your editing software? I have Adobe Creative Package. You have to manually upload your plugins to Adobe Audition. There's a few how-tos. I don't have Audition open, but there's a few how-tos on YouTube on how to do that. But you do have to load them into Adobe Audition. Phil says, I bought the Isotope RX10 Element and the Waves NS1 and Clarity VX. RX10 and Clarity don't work well together. That's interesting. Although if you have RX10, if you have, you don't have to use them both. I think using two noise reducers is probably a little overkill. So I would just choose one or the other and dial it in to where you need it. And then that would be just fine. I don't think you would need to use two noise reducers. That might be a little overkill. Michael V says, I love Sweetwater. I do too. And every once in a while, my sales rep he'll go, hey, I see you have something in your cart. Can I answer any questions for you? Or he'll just check in. Hey, how's that new interface doing? And if you need like help with installation or, troubleshooting, they're available to help you with that too, which I love. And every order is shipped with a little bag of candy. It's the little things. Brandon to Siobhan says, the effects drop-down has a plugin directory button at the bottom. It'll usually find them, but you can just go there, find them, and enable them. There you go. Sunny. Hi, Sunny. Good morning, Angela. Mindset to stick with it, but tools and training to make tangible things happen. It's a synergistic relationship. You are absolutely right, Sunny. You are right. Joya to Phil, RX10. Repair Assistance and Clarity VX don't go well together, but the individual RX10 FX work fine together. There you go. I wouldn't do too much anyway, because you just run the risk of really just destroying your audio in the process, right? There is such a thing as too much effects. Oh, we got a super chat. Excuse me, Frog. Who invited you to the party? Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. Good morning, everyone. Love the crown, Angela. What sound engineer would you suggest? P's super excited. I just secured another audiobook with an author in Australia. Thank you for all your advice. Well, congratulations on getting another audiobook job. It's fabulous. Engineer, would I suggest? We actually have in my Facebook group, we have Uncle Roy, who is a great audio engineer. I think he also helps to produce demos, if I'm not wrong. I personally use Tim Tippett for my audio engineer, who was extremely helpful, and he'll spend all the time that is needed to get things right. Let's see, who else is there? There's Lenny B. There's a handful of them. I bet you anything, if you just Google audio engineer, I bet you there'd be a ton of people that come up for you. But you'll usually find or hear of other great names in your Facebook circles. If you belong to some voice actor, audiobook narrator Facebook groups, or mastermind groups or academies or online academies and things, you'll pick up a lot of different names for audio producers or audio engineers, rather. But there are a handful of them out there. And I think you can even find them on like Fiverr and Upwork, but I would probably choose the ones that are recommended to you, right? Congrats on your book. Caesar, oh, actually, sorry, Caesar. I completely skipped everybody else up here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where are we here? I think we're here. Mark, anything in Isotope Standard or Audition's FX that are good to deal with AC noise? There's There's a great video by Don Barnes on YouTube on how to use the spectral noise repair in Isotope to remove AC noise. I played with it using his direction, and I was able to remove mine, but I have found it more efficient for my process to just record with the AC off. And then I edit while it's on for me. Because doing the post repair takes more time. It's not worth taking that time to do that while I'm sitting in here sweating. I'd rather just fight through the sweat, get it recorded, and then edit while it's on and I'm cooling down. But there is Don Barnes on YouTube. Sunny says Waves is exactly the same as before, but they have an additional option to subscribe for access to every plugin now. Interesting. So I bet you it's, so like if you just need like a part-time plugin, or if you just want to try one, perhaps, maybe. Joya says sometimes the word count in audiobooks and their ebook won't jive because authors may add a special chapter or ending alternative to help sell both formats. That makes sense. So that's a great point that Joya just brought up, is that when we were talking about Audiobook Scout a little while ago and you get that red flag because something isn't jiving, that could be why. And that doesn't necessarily mean the red flag they give you doesn't necessarily mean that something's wrong or fishy. It just means something isn't jiving, right? Something is not matching up. So to Joya's point, it could be just something that is added by the author for a specific format. It doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong or it's scammy, right? Thank you, Joya. Caesar says, I hammered myself for 5 months straight, learning everything I could about voice work, including studio sound treatment. Ironically, this has led to a second guessing and a reduction in confidence. Yes, that I can see where that can come into play, because in the training and learning process, you come across a lot of voice actors that are in the place that you want to be, right? Oh, they sound so great. Oh, their studios are amazing. Oh, they have all of this, they have the Megami Gold cables and they have all of the stuff that I want. Oh my gosh, I want to be them, or I want to be where they are, right? I'm never going to get anywhere because they're so much better than me. Well, you know what? They all started where you did. They all started in the same place that you did. It just took time. You're comparing yourself now to where they are 10 years in the future, right? They have 10, 15, 20 plus years of experience on you. That doesn't mean that you're bad or can't learn or can't get to where they are. It's just going to take time and training. Right? So just don't let the, I forget what the terminology is for that, but don't, obsess on, I'm never going to have what they have, or I don't have the talent that they have. Well, you know what? They went through training too. They had coaches too. Right? So don't let that deter you from achieving your goals and your dreams. No. I'm going to squash that tangent before it starts. Dylan says, every Tuesday, these Q&As give me tools and advice in the most positive and inspirational ways. Good. I'm glad. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to be as real as possible as I can with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. But I'm going to give you my honest advice and answers as far as I know. Right? And mindset for me has been a huge help in getting through. So I'm glad that this helps. That is my ultimate goal. Speech Hunter, my first time joining the live stream. Thanks for all the info. What is the line between amateur and pro VO narration? And, I hear that question a lot. I don't know if there's a definitive line to be made. I don't know when that is that you can be considered pro. I don't know if it's, getting an agent. I don't know if it's getting X number of audiobook titles under your belt, if it's when you get that first, big name commercial, I don't know where that definitive line in the sand is drawn. I think that's up to you in your own confidence and abilities. I think if you ask 10 different people that question, they're going to give you 10 different answers, I guess is what I'm saying. So I guess it's really up to you and how you feel, right? Once you start to get the money starts to come in and you're more confident in your abilities and skills and how well you use your jaw and how well you're interpreting and delivering tone or whatever it is, then that is the point where you go, okay, I'm a pro. Maybe it's when you go full time, and you're not doing this part time anymore, when you're making a full time income. And to some people, it could be when you get your LLC, when your business is officially a business. I mean, it could be, I think that's just when you decide that it is. Keegan says, cringeworthy. That sounds about right. Thanks. Cringeworthy. Mason Reconstruction says, an author generally is better able to narrate a nonfiction book than fiction. No, I agree with you, because no one's going to understand their prose better than them, what they're feeling or what their intentions were. Yeah, I agree with you. Caesar says, continued, I think this is mostly due to the glut of conflicting information available online. USB versus XLR, foamed versus mineral wool, dynamic versus condenser, normalized first versus normalized last, and so on. Yes. And that is where I think you just need to try things on your own, because I was in the same place that you were. I just took it all in. I listened to everything that everybody that I could find had to say, and I made my own decisions based on what worked best for me, my recording space, my time, and my situation, right? Because what this person said over here, maybe I didn't like, but you know what? It had a good point. And then this person over here, I really liked what they said, but maybe there was one little point that didn't make sense for my situation. I took it all in. So I knew how to properly put everything together in here that worked for me and my voice and my recording studio. Because you're right, not everything is going to apply and not everything is going to work together with everything else. So regardless of what they're telling you, whether this is right and this is wrong, or this is wrong and this is right, just take it all in and then make your own decisions. Take the pieces that work for you and then leave the rest. Right? Sure, right. There's a lot of information out there and a lot of it is conflicting. Victor says, does a producer get 25 promo codes for per finished hour projects? I believe it's just royalty share, but double check that on acx.com. They have a great FAQ section with a lot of this information on it. I believe it's just royalty share. Kara says, sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. Whew. Now we can go on, you guys. Kara's here. Did you bring your goblet? Is it full of coffee? Do you drink coffee out of that goblet? I have to know. Hat Bowser says, yes, you are, Queen. Oh my gosh. We did my birthday a couple years ago at Medieval Times. I took my whole family to Medieval Times for my birthday, and my mom brought me a crown to wear because I was the queen for the night. And I just keep it in here because it reminds me of that. Dylan says, Caesar, I'm right there with you. Analysis paralysis. Thank you. That's one of the terms I was looking for. Sucks. But we need to just plow through it. These Q&As really help me. That's why I'm here. Well, I appreciate you guys. But there is analysis paralysis. That is a cousin to procrastinating, right? Is when you're soaking in all of this information, then you go, okay, now what? Which of these is going to best suit me and my situation? There's just so much that needs to be done. I have no idea how to move forward. Well, that is when you just write everything down. And this is what I did. I wrote everything down that I needed to do to build the business, right? And maybe even as I was watching all of this content and reading all of these articles, I would write things down. And then I would go, okay, what needs to be done first? What would be the biggest impact for me right now? Build out my website. Okay, great. And then you can break that down into smaller chunks. Okay, so what do I need for my website? I need demos. I need a headshot. I need an about me. I need a contact page. Okay, so what am I going to work on first? Right? You just break everything down into chunks and then cross it off the list when you're done and then move down to the next thing. That's the only way to eat an elephant, guys, is just bite by bite, right? Because it is a lot. But you just have to write everything down, just write it, get it all out of your head and put it on paper, and then just sort of move things around or a spreadsheet or whatever works best for you. And just, what is most important now? What is going to have the biggest impact? And just do it piece by piece. Victor says, you sound like a professional life coach. You're all well, I don't know about a life coach, but I'll just share with you what I know. And what I know is that a positive mindset or seeing the positive side of things definitely helped me in a lot of ways. And my business was a big one. Caesar says, I used to keep a crown in my office, but my cat knocked it off my desk and it fell on my foot and screamed so loud. It caused a chain reaction that frightened my other cats into knocking other. Yeah. Once one cat is off and running, the rest are usually pew, pew, pew all over the house and causing a ruckus. It's funny. Siobhan says, I'm taking a leap, quitting my teaching job, so time will definitely be available. Now balancing the time to continue writing more and getting other things done. That's a job to tackle. Yes, it is. But you can do it one step at a time. Caesar says, thanks, Dylan. I'm going to get through it. Starting to feel more confident now that I've got a pretty well-treated room. Good. There you go. There you go. Confidence. Even if it's just in one thing, it's like one thing that you can cross off that list. Room is treated. Done. Now you move on to the next thing. And that will help to build your confidence as you go. Ross Nelson says, what's up, Angela? Hope you're having a great afternoon. Yes, I am, Ross. What's up? BB Homebody. Thanks again, Angela. Your knowledge is incredibly helpful. I try to sound original, but I also try to copy your lovely, soothing narration voice. Don't copy. Just be you. That is another thing that I hear a lot and I am asked about is, who do I need to sound like or what do I need to sound like to get a job? You just need to sound like you. The individual, unique you. Because no one can be you quite like you. So just be you. You don't need to sound like me or to sound like Morgan Freeman, although we'd all be millionaires if that were the case. If we all sounded like, well, that's not true, because then he wouldn't be unique, right? But just be you. I bet you yours is very lovely and soothing as well. Dylan says, heck yeah, man. Sound good, feel good. That's right. Sound good, feel good. That should be the next sticker or t-shirt that we make, right? Sound good, feel good. Hat says, those black nails are dope, Queen Goth. Yeah, I was, well, yeah, I guess it was goth back in high school. It still lingers, I like the dark stuff, but thank you. Jessa says, Canva is ridiculously flexible and useful. Yeah, it is ridiculous. There's quite a few tools that I'm still amazed are free. I mean, Canva has Canva Pro, of course, but there's a lot of templates and there's a lot of assets there that are available in the free profile section. So Canva just blows my mind and how much you can do with it for free. Yeah. I use it to make all kinds of social media posts. They have templates for things like Instagram, Twitter. It's ridiculous. They have so much that you can utilize for free. Caesar says, funny story. I managed to get my noise floor down to negative 58 dB by weather stripping my windows. My biggest issue was that cicadas would sing en masse outside my house in the early evenings. Drove me nuts. Oh my gosh. Really? But that's good. See, just one little change can make such a big difference. Cicadas. Gosh. Ouch. Shannon says, awesome. Thank you. You are welcome, my friend. Cecil says, morning, Jim Cecil here. Maybe I missed it, but haven't seen your TikTok duet challenge yet. But I'm sure I just missed it, right? Let me just say, it's been a week. It's been a week. So, and my extra time is fairly limited, but one of the things that really helps my mindset, let me just back up here and share this. One of the things that really helps my mindset is to hold business hours and adhere to them, right? So like on my Google business page, I'm open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I try to stick to that as closely as I can. Yes, I'm still in here on the weekends doing some work, but I'm not like I'm not meeting with people. Um, I'm trying to take time from my own mental state. I'm trying to take some time to rest and rejuvenate and to spend time with my family because the first year and a half, almost 2 years of this journey were spent, sequestered here in this studio trying to build this out and make it work. And then I just neglected my family. So I try to keep those business hours, I try to stick to them as much as possible for my own sanity, for my own mental state, if that makes sense. So when I'm out of the studio, I try to stay out of the studio, right? And yes, the TikTok duet thing is fun, but I'm still learning the platform in terms of recording and sharing video. It's still a little confusing to me, but you're right. I need to just do it. Maybe I'll do it in the pickup line today, waiting for the kiddo to get out of school. Who knows? We'll see. Kirk, indeed. Howdy. Popping in and out as I run to appointments. Wanted to throw it out there, if it hasn't already been said, that a bit of imposter syndrome isn't a bad thing. It keeps us humble and helps us grow. Yes, because you're reminding yourself where you've started, right? And that could be a confidence builder, not only help to ease that, that voice, the imposter syndrome in your ear, but also to build your confidence. Just give you a little reminder on where you started and how far you've come and the things that you have done to get there. Speech Hunter, I'm building a recording booth by hanging acoustic blankets and a U-shaped ceiling track like a hospital curtain. Oh, that's cool. Don't forget to treat the ceiling too. It's a good idea. Creative. Getting creative. Siobhan Williams says at Speech Hunter, that's a great idea. It is. Absolutely. Caesar says that's a great plan, Speech Hunter. I'm currently using moving blankets in my makeshift studio, plus one actual acoustic sound blanket over my window. That's cool. Guys are getting creative. Michael V says the definitive line between pro and amateur is that you get paid. If you're being paid, you are a professional. I think the answer to that question is going to be subjective to everybody, because I would still consider getting paid as an amateur because I don't quite have, in my head, I don't have enough experience to consider myself pro. But I realized that maybe I considered myself an amateur too long because of the imposter syndrome, right? So you could be paid and still be an amateur, but what line is that defines you as pro versus amateur? I guess it could be up to you. It could be subjective. Caesar says the moving blankets are temporary and I use them doubled up. One moving blanket has a NRC of between 0.3 to 0.4, so I doubled them up, and they're about as good as I can as an acoustic blanket. Yeah. They make me wonder. I wonder if I should double up in here. I definitely need bass traps in here, though. There's a couple of corners that, I've eliminated all of the sharp corners in here, but I think I could utilize some bass traps in here. Joya says, I know I have the worst waveforms in my audio. I gave up on that and decided to clean it up in post. You can do it. Just record something. Just record something, right? That's what we say here. Just record something. Just do it already. Positivity and good mindset are key. I agree with you, Joya. MG Stevens, hi, Angela. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your great resources. All of this info is so valuable. Well, good. Good, I'm glad. Karen said, only wine in the goblet. You could have two goblets. You could have a wine goblet and you could have coffee goblet, right? Why not? You know what we haven't checked in a while is the poll. What time is it? Okay. I've got a little bit of time here. Let's do the poll. So again, the poll was whoops. Just click an arbitrary but okay. Which do we think will take your business farther? Tools and training or mindset? Based on everything that we've already talked about today, I think it'll be wow, it's not as swayed as I thought. I thought it would be a little bit more leaning towards mindset. But 59 votes, 29% of you said tools and training, and 71% of you said mindset. And I agree with you guys that you need both. You definitely need both. But I think even with personal opinion, even with all of the tools and training in the world, if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to get very far with those tools and training, right? Siobhan says, I made a note page on my Opine with glasses. Every video I watched that had the info I needed, I copied the link into the notes page, as well as other info and links to Amazon products, etc. Super helpful to have. Yes. Yes. So you make like bring up like a blank Word document, for example, and just copy and paste websites mentioned, people mentioned, links to products that are mentioned, and then keep all of that together. That's a good idea. And then to reference later. Good point. MG Stevens says, my theme lately seems to be hurry up and then wait, and hurry up again. I so relate to that. I try to fill the waiting with training and learning. By the way, how long does the QA process for ACX take? I agree that's a good tactic to fill the waiting in with training and to watching and learning all the resources that you can. But don't marinate too long in the procrastinating learning stage, right? And the analysis paralysis. Make sure you do as well as wait. But the QA process, it's fluctuated the last few years. It was sometimes it would take between 7 and 10 days. And then, at the height of COVID, it was up to 30 plus days. I think now it's closer to probably 7 to 14 days, business days, I would think. Maybe sooner, maybe later, but it's hard to say what it is right now. But usually I would say between 7 and 14 days, maybe. It changes, based on staffing and things like that. Getty says, your live shows are helpful throughout my journeys in the subgenre of audiobook VO. That's good. I'm glad it's helpful. Shannon says, can you remind me what groups you have for improving VO skills? What groups that I have? Personally, I have my Facebook group, the VO Workshop, which I think we're up to about 1,500 voice actors, maybe more, in that group alone. And there I allow you to, share demos for feedback, share information, ask questions, of course, and, support each other. And then I have the Platinum group on my website, VoiceOverAngela.com, and we meet every Thursday night. By the way, those of you watching in my Platinum group, your auditions are due today. Make sure you get them in the Drive folder so I can start reviewing and choosing a winner. And then also in that group, we meet every Thursday night. And we go over topics and tutorials and we read for each other, that sort of thing. And then I also give you scripts to use for your practice and demos, resources like ebooks and, all kinds of stuff in that group. If you're asking what I personally have. And then I also have one-on-ones. You can meet with me for a half an hour and ask every question that you've ever had. And then I have mentorship programs where you can meet with me once a week. And then I just kind of meet you where you are and we work through setting up equipment, profiles. We do we can do reads for each other, all kinds of different stuff during that time. Abundant Audiobook says, I'm a new audiobook narrator and I've been watching all your old videos at work. I didn't get much work done, but it was fantastic. So what was fantastic? Watching the videos or not getting much work done? Because it could probably go both ways, right? Well, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate that. I hope you found them helpful. Jolene says, I just got reached out to by a representative from Beacon Audiobooks. I don't know much about them. I'm trying to do more research. Have you heard of them? I have not. Beacon Audiobooks. All right, hold on. I'm going to write that down so I can go and take a look. Beacon Audiobooks. Indie publisher, perhaps? Why is that not ringing a bell? You guys were probably all like, don't you know Beacon? I'll look it up. Jessica Kent says, listen, people brag a lot on old fluffy towels. In test after test on YouTube, people are saying they give the best noise reduction. Yeah, old fluffy towels. You could go to your local thrift store and just pick up a bunch of old fluffy stuff, comforters, mattress pads, towels, make sure you wash them first if you can. Siobhan says, should have said on my phone. LOL, not opine. Well, that works too. I mean, any device that you have, a way to jot down notes or information. Caesar says, my mindset has gone from I can do this to how can I do this to I've got it all wrong to wait, no, I can do this to I can do this, right? Right? Maybe I missed something. Totally relatable. And I think that just comes down to mindset. I think to your point, instead of saying I can't do this, you change it to how can I get this done, right? Just that subtle mind shift in thought, instead of a negative thought, make it a positive thought. And then again, I think for you, write down everything that you have done thus far, right? And remind yourself that you have already come this far. You've already invested in all this equipment, all of this training, all of this experience thus far. Why would you want to just throw that away because you're having a little boo-boo moment, right? Just tell that imposter to shut up and get back in there. Get back in the game, right? Shannon Flint says, yes, thank you. Siobhan, I'm definitely thinking about joining your classes once summer break hits. Is that info on your website? Yes. You can find everything that I've discussed regarding my groups on my website, voiceoverangela.com. Apart from the Facebook group, apparently, or not apparently, obviously, because it's on Facebook, but the Facebook group is the VO workshop. Joya says, my weekend goal ticked off. Figured out formatting on Reaper and turning in my audition homework. Good. But I think outside the box. Wonder how that will come over during Thursday meeting. Caesar to Jessica Kent. Old fluffy towels are surprisingly sound absorbent. The dude from the YouTube channel Creators Village did a semi-scientific test and found them to work quite well. Old fluffy towels, guys. Old fluffy towels. Jim Ashbrook says, is there another location to find audiobooks in addition to ACX? Yes, there are tons of them. There are tons of them. ACX is, again, just one tool in your toolbox. Is it Audiobook Edge? Audiobook Edge, is that the one that I'm always thinking of? There's Authors Republic, there's Ahab, there's Findaway Voices. There are a ton of audiobook-specific distributors, but you can also find audiobook work directly by making connections with authors through social media or on other platforms like Fiverr, Upwork. There's a lot of places to find audiobook work. ACX is just one. I have to speed through these really quick. I got to get going. Caesar to Jessica Kent. There's also another guy, DIY Perks, I think, who made acoustic panels stuffed with old towels, and they worked really well too. Acoustic panels with old towels. Interesting. Jessica Kent to Caesar. I love Creators Village. That was the most recent fluffy towels test I saw. I haven't seen this YouTube channel. I'm going to have to write this down. Creators Village is what it's called. DIY Perks and Creators Village. DIY Perks and Creators Village. I know eventually I'm going to be moving into a larger house at some point once houses come down in price. So point being is that I'm going to have to reconfigure a new room and hopefully maybe incorporate some acoustic panels and stuff. So I'm still taking in information too, and you guys being creative with this stuff. Noting it for future reference. Masonry says, when my towels get old, they are not fluffy. Yeah, they're usually like kind of just flat and threadbare. And because I don't know about you guys, but I hate spending money. I will use the last drip of soap in the container. I hate spending money if I don't have to. So I will definitely use my towels until they are threadbare before I buy new stuff. Yep. I'm right there with you. All right, you guys, that is everything I have for you today. I will see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So until then, you guys, remember, mindset is everything. Tools and training are important, but I think mindset, maybe even in conjunction with tools and training, are important, I think. But mindset is going to carry you through to the end. So remember your why, hold on to it, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.